petition for an inquiry into intersex equality with the government, and hopefully I'll be sharing those details soon. And we need support from as many people as possible. And I hope that you have all learned something important today, and will share this information with as many people as possible, because we need this to spread. Okay. Thank you very much for attending. I hope you'll join me in giving a round of applause to our speakers again. And does anyone have any questions they want to direct to the speakers? Yeah?
Speakers
yeah.
I try to follow it off. Yeah. When we are talking about label, I know in 2006 there is a Chicago consensus about intersex issues. They gave the name about intersex condition. But I know the intersex society is not very not very like this label, because it's like problem. They just make this a problem. But when I was talking to the Hong Kong government, they always say that if you exclude the label, they can do nothing. That they can't change the birth certificate, the sex on the birth certificate, and they cannot distribute resources to them. So I'm very confused whether we should give it a label, or how can we balance?
Disorders.
Yeah, the disorders. Like if you don't have a disorders label, we cannot legitimately use the government resources to help them. But yeah, it's a struggle.
It's not a matter of not having a label. Plenty of labels that can be used. The objection to the disorders of sexual development is based on the fact that intersex people resent being labelled as disordered, because that's how it's interpreted. The medical interpretation of a disorder is very different. The general public, who do matter, read the word disordered in a different way, and can also say that the population of India and Pakistan regard disorder as something to be feared. There were no intersex people at that so-called consensus meeting in America. None. There was no professionals there from the social sciences, from psychology, people who are involved in welfare, and so on. They were mostly urologists and endocrinologists and general scientists. There were not many women there either. They were mostly male. And they met together and they had these cosy meetings, just talking to each other, no intersex people interjecting at all. They then announced that they'd come up with this new terminology, because I love it when people talk on my behalf and on Joe's behalf. That intersex people resented terms like hermaphrodite and intersex. I don't like the word hermaphrodite, but it's the first time I've heard that I didn't like intersex. So I use it all the time, because it actually describes the conditions far better. But I was told that intersex was banned now, and this new name, disorders of sexual development, was brought in. The NHS now use it all the time. Very quickly, this is backfiring on people that live in other countries, because we helped a gentleman whose son was born with no visible external genitalia at all. He lived in a small village in Pakistan. And he worked so hard to convince the people in his village that his son wasn't a monster. His son was an ordinary little boy who just didn't have his genitalia, and in Europe and America this is known as intersex. It means between the sexes at the moment, but eventually they work out what role he was going to play in life. He won them over. They were fully accepting of this child. And then one day, one of the few people in the village who had a computer had seen a report of a so-called consensus meeting. I know I sound angry, but I am bloody angry about this. Because we pick up, ISUK and UK pick up these stories. What happened in that village was this person who had the computer read that the new term for intersex that this man had been talking to them about was disorders of sexual development. The villagers came to his little house and said, "We want you out of the village because your son is disordered and he'd be dangerous to other children." they were hounded out of their village. And in fact, it was one of our new associates, who became one of our associates, Mohammed Awais, who actually rescued the family, his businessman, and he paid for them to move to another village. That's why he's part of the Ukraine, because he's a tremendous humanitarian. And Mohammed had them moved to a place of safety. Thank you very much, consensus statement. You're putting intersex children in danger in some parts of the world. But they didn't take that into consideration. Perhaps they would if they'd had a social scientist there. You know. So no, intersex people don't accept the term DSD or disorders of the sexual. You're not kind, you don't accept it.
The term disorder is quite, as a non-binary trans person as well, it's when you get, for trans people, it's you're diagnosed with a gender identity disorder. And again, it's the use of the term disorder is unnecessarily pathologizing, and there's no need to use it to refer to people to offer us help, intersex people or trans people that we need.
And recently the WHO has come out with a statement saying exactly that the pathologization of trans and intersex people and the use of the term disorder is counterproductive, and in fact it might actually cause some of the mental conditions that are associated with trans people being labeled in such a way. It's a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy to a certain degree.
Yes, you had a question?
Yeah, this is a question for both of you, actually. So you both mentioned John Lilly and the idea of gender identity at birth as a tabula rasa, and I think we all agree that that's idea is simplistic. But at points in both of what you said, it sounded to me as though you were a long way from the idea of karyotype as almost like a counterbalance, or as a very strong determinant of gender identity. So I'd be interested if you could just clarify your perspectives on the relationship between, if you like, nature and nurture, and also what does that mean for trans people and their perspectives on that question, and also for people with variants of sex chromosomes, so people with Python syndrome, Turner syndrome, things like that.
Well, I think in my case, obviously if I hadn't been born without the calligraphy, I would have XY chromosomes, testes, and I would develop male. And most likely would have grown to identify as male. But that's not to say that your chromosomes dictate the gender. No. And with intersex chromosomes it's quite complex issue, isn't it? There's many variations of intersex with lots of different chromosome structures.
Yes, I mean, just speaking for myself, but obviously I've had a lot of them from many intersex people. Your karyotype does not really determine how you feel about yourself. Because the karyotype does not control the brain. What it does do, however, is that you give someone that particular identification in relation to the karyotype. And that influences the way the parents treat the child, and ultimately the way society treats the child. This idea that only men have XY and only women have XX. Well, of course, it flies in the face of what we know about gender dysphoria. But it's really just part of the package. And in my case, they make hay out of it. My birth certificate said that. My karyotype said that. You know? So, you're not a person really. You can't represent your country. Because you're a mixture, and you can't be a mixture. One thing's got to match the other. In the same, similar situation, in fact. Joe here. No, because I mean, you're quite likely pointed to other karyotypes like XXY and XXXY and Turner syndrome, where you know what label can you put on this child? No, we don't give karyotype that power. It's just part of the package. But the idea that Joe touched upon is very, very important. This, because of my specialism in child mental health, it's ridiculous to suggest that if you take the baby home and paint the nursery pink and dress the child in frock, they'll identify as a girl. I mean, that's la-la land. I mean, a child of average intelligence between the ages of about 36 to 48 months can tell you whether they're a boy or a girl. But they're very quick off the mark. However you treat them. I mean, I can remember telling people, I'm a boy. I saw what boys normally did, and I felt like that, and I wanted to do that, and so on. I mean, it's devastating for a child to be told, don't do that, you're not a boy. I think, either I'm or everybody else. And if Joe felt this, I felt this. What's going on? And then, of course, later on you find out how about carrying type. I should mention, actually, just for sort of medical information, the condition that I have is 5-alpha reductase deficiency. And that is responsible for that kind of presentation of the reduction, despite having an XY karyotype. I was secreting the correct amount of chemicals that actually worked. So it meant the reduction in the 5-alpha reductase, and I didn't realise. That's just life. But what happened to me after birth is far worse. We can make something out of children, that's positive and matches their identity. But just mention something that Joe mentioned. I'm not going to use any names. But there's an individual operating on the track who's still doing the rounds. He's one of the most arrogant men I've ever met. Sorry, Joe, I know you're but he attended a conference in London, and my colleague, Professor Milton Diamond, went to that conference. He said, I'm going to that conference or something, and if he's there, I'll have a word with him. So we cornered him in the bar when there was a break, and we started talking to him about this issue, and how could he indulge in these cosmetic surgeries on children. And this individual, who was a neurologist, turned to Professor Diamond and said, oh, I can't be doing with all this fuss. He said, these Green Welly Brigade people, save the planet, these Green Welly people, they're making all this fuss and they just don't understand the technicalities concerned. So it doesn't matter how long you study medicine, we both know as much as he knows. And this is the person who not only operated on children, he's operated on hundreds of children.
But he's influenced something. In fact, that's what he's talking to expert people who consider to be
This is one of the main reasons I wanted to reach out to MedSoc to make it a joint, because it's so important that anyone who's going to become a doctor is aware of these issues and how harmful it is, and has been and will continue to be unless something is seriously done about this. Also further to the thing on chromosomes, it is definitely not related to gender, but I have a friend who has 3 X chromosomes that he identifies as male and has transitioned. And there's so many examples of trans people, or even people who have chromosome disorders where, like a lot of people would be like, oh, 3 X's, they should be a girl, but no, identifies as male, and that is something which further supports the idea that self-determination of gender is a human right. And I think in the case of trans people, it's something which is sort of taken away from us from more of a social perspective. We're sort of conditioned to live in this role, but with intersex people, it's even forcibly taken away with genital mutilation, and that's a very serious issue.
If I can just follow up on that. You see, that perspective would imply that, if you like, your karyotype and your gender identity have no necessary connection between them, which is a position that I can agree with very strongly. But I think that then becomes complex. In relation to some of the things that you were saying, because it seemed like both, if I understood you correctly, both particularly Joe, I think you said that you felt like your identity had been taken away from you by the surgery or by the way that you were raised under the advice of those surgeons. So that's just as though you felt like there was a strong determinant effect of karyotype, or as though you thought there should have been a strong determinant effect of karyotype.
Part of many factors throughout my life, throughout discovering who I actually was as well. It wasn't the overwhelm. It was the start of me discovering more about myself and discovering more about my physical aspects. And then, of course, coming to terms with the psychological coming to terms with my childhood and how I thought, how I behaved, whereas I was always trying to ignore because I was very male as a child, even though I was being most female. It just helped me on the way to discover actually no, I was never female, no matter how much I tried and everyone else tried. It was just that was not my gender identity. So it was the spark that lit the fire and led me to go down the self-discovery route, but it wasn't the one and only thing.
I actually have a question.
I wonder, I just wanted to add, maybe Joe and Jay can confirm or deny this, but I'm wondering if maybe the karyotype is not so much determinative as it is affirmative, in the sense that you have this feeling of being raised on the wrong gender, then you find out, oh, I could have been, the phenotypically male all along, and it's sort of just affirms, and that's why, and that's where why you're sort of happy to sort of find out about your chromosomes, rather than necessarily suggesting that they determined your gender identity.
It's just part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Then also, I should point out, trans people, those of us who transition against our karyotype, we only make up about 10% of the population. So, the odds were, had they not removed your testes, that you would have developed to be sort of what we call cis male. I don't know. It's like,
Yes, I mean, as you say quite rightly, it's more affirmative and determined. One of the things that really pulled me up short, and really hit me, was when I found out I was a surgeonist. And leaving aside my karyotype, that's why. I found out my gonads had been removed. Now the message that sent to me was, I'll never father children. They've taken my fertility away. On a theory, based on a theory, they have removed my fertility. I will never, ever father children. I've got them, and I've got two wonderful godchildren. But they're not my natural children. And I love children, that's why I work with them. They're horrors, but I work with them. I mean, the toddlers I work with, they're like little clockwork figures. I look for a big key in their back. I love working with children, and I would love to have been a father. That was taken away from me. And that hit me harder than finding out about my karyotype. You cheeky bastards. Sitting in judgment over me. You will never have children, but you'll grow up quite happy as a girl. And those who do grow up and are unable to have children, they adopt and become wonderful parents. But at least they know why they're doing it. If I adopted, I wouldn't do it now because I'm more than enough for my wife and my brother to look after as my only child as well. But I would love to be a father and then to discover why I'm doing that children. That was more important to me than my karyotype. But it's still going on. All in the name of conformity. And we get frequent, I can't speak for ISUK, we get a lot of emails from GPs. I've had this patient in my practice and I don't know what to do. Now, I used to lecture at the medical school in Manchester, which used to be across the road. They've now moved it onto the main campus and it's getting bigger every time I go there. It's bigger. I don't know how it's going to be eventually. They probably take off and go into space. But lecturing to medical students, I was amazed how little they knew about intersex, which of course I didn't like, but no. I thought this isn't good enough. You're not training the doctors of the future. So they're actually cutting out a big chunk of humanity. People called intersex, and it's noticeable. You may have heard of the 2010 Equalities Act that was drawn up in 2010 in this country. It provides protection for all manner of minorities in the UK. Minorities in terms of their race, their skin colour, their faith, their age. I'm all right. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm covered. But if I was discriminated against, I could not take out action because intersex people are not protected in the 2010 Act. We're not included. We're not considered to be involved in it. So when I contacted the Equalities Commission and said, I'm very concerned about this, I didn't tell them who I was, I didn't mention the car at the beginning, because that's too long ago. I just said that I discovered that the 2010 Equalities Act doesn't include intersex people. She said, no, that's right, they're not a protected category. Could you tell me why not? She said, well, no, not really. But she said, they are not protected. I said, but I'm in a wheelchair. She said, oh, well, you're all right. She said, you're protected. I'm all right. If I'm discriminated against on the basis that I'm intersex, I'm born intersex, I've got to every now and then, I have no redress in law. So do you know what she said to me? Well, if you're discriminated against, pretend it's not because you're intersex. Say it's because you're in a wheelchair. What a way to draft the law. It's true. I wish it wasn't. It's absolutely true. I have to pretend I was being discriminated against because I'm in a wheelchair, which has nothing to do with it. But as an intersex person, people can do what they want, they can discriminate against me, they can refuse a job on that basis or whatever. I've no redress in under the law. I thought you should know.
And I think this is also, it's something that there's a lot of work being done, certainly by yourselves as well, to push for this to change, because it needs to change. And there are things that we can all do to help when this petition goes, for example. And I'm sure there's many other ways if you want to chip in, but I know you've been doing things to try and raise awareness on this issue, because it's a big issue. And I think many people who fall under some minority which is protected can get a sense of safety from that, and the fact that many intersex people do not have any protection from discrimination by the law is an outrage, and it's ridiculous.
Well, she tends to be something else.
Any other questions? Yeah.
So just following on through the notion that growing up in a certain way might have an influence on your identity, do you think there is a higher incidence of non-binary people being intersex people that have relations?
Well, one thing you need to do, you probably are, I'd say, that so little information is actually recorded. The people that are doing this really only give out tiny amounts of information. And the number of times we receive emails or phone calls making inquiries is that someone is trying to find out more about their medical history. But their medical records are lost. Intersex people are some of the people, the most careless people on this planet because they keep losing their medical records. A young woman who is from England, but she's in Scotland, contacted us and said, I'm very confused. Aren't we all? She said, I'm taking out life insurance, she said, and I've had a letter to say that I have to furnish my medical history for this life insurance. She said, and I was born in Essex, so I got in touch with the hospital in Essex. She said, and asked for a medical record. And when they arrived, there was obviously big chunks of it missing. So she got in touch with the hospital and said, what's the rest of them? He said, oh, they're missing. But what she did find in the records was a carriage on. And she said, I'm shocked. Now this is one example of XY, individual identified as female, like trans people do. But she'd had help, she was brought up as a girl. And that fitted so well with her, as it would fit with me as well. So she said, I don't know who I am. She said, I've got this XY whatever it is. She said, my medical records are missing, so I don't know what happened to me after the first few pages. She said, we can't do that. It's what we're doing that, not regularly. I said, most of the emails that we get about birth certificates are to do with missing parts of the birth certificates and records. And it's a bit of a stretch of the imagination to think that, well, these things are not there. Well, they keep happening, particularly to intersex people. Yes. I mean, apparently, there was about 4 years in my life that I didn't live. I went to Mars or somewhere because the records are missing. You know, so it didn't record that either. And I think this is nice. To deliberately lose or secrete medical records, appalling things, for all kinds of reasons. And also it's psychologically damaging, because this young woman, who's actually a very successful documentary maker, she's on several levels, continues to travel overseas as part of her profession. And she's not going to take out life insurance for this. Whilst travelling and when she got this information, she did not know myself anymore. And then right at the other end of the scale, we were contacted by a man in his late 60s. And he said, I've just discovered some things about my past. And he said, so I went and demanded the guy's test. And he said, they were asked to use the test on me. And apparently, even though I've got male genitalia, he said, internally, I've got female organs. Yes, that's apparently. It's not unheard of. So he said, that can't be right. He said, no, why would you divorce me? Anyway, I got his wife on the phone. She said, no way, I'm not going to divorce him. He's my husband and I love him. He said, but I've got women's bits inside me and I've got male bits on the outside. The layman's description of human anatomy. And what he said to me really is something that will live with me forever. He said, I'm in the late 60s. Nobody's ever told me this. Nobody's ever been honest with you. He said, I just want to know who I am before I die. Now that's straight from the heart. I want to know who I am. I'm not a pastor or an awful lot of things. I want to know my real self. So I suggested that he went to see a specialist. She put his mind at rest with regard to any potential for cancer. And he's had treatment. His wife loves him. They're still together. And he knows more about who he is because of that. So it's events like that